cannot give you back your homes or restore your dead to life.
But perhaps I can give you justice in the name of our king.
Hey everyone, I'm about to detail a very interesting idea within the Ice and Fire community, so if you aren't caught up with the books or even the show, you may want to turn back. There will be tons of spoilers. Okay, Rhaegar Targaryen is easily one of the most important off-screen characters in the show, and equally as important in the novels. Today we are going to talk about a theory that says Rhaegar Targaryen is alive. Essentially, the setting for this great story begins with his relationship with Lyanna Stark, the sister of Ned Stark and mother of Jon Snow. If it wasn't for the events that took place surrounding the two, Game of Thrones would not be what it is. To briefly expand, Rhaegar Targaryen was prince and heir to the throne after his father Aerys II, or better known as the Mad King. You may have heard of him. Lyanna Stark was the daughter of Lord Rickard Stark, and she was betrothed to Robert Baratheon. Robert was obsessed with Lyanna, and he made it clear throughout his life that his love for her never wavered. Lyanna didn't seem to reciprocate the same feelings for Robert, but she may have for Prince Rhaegar, who was married already and had children. Rhaegar and Lyanna had kind of like a forbidden love affair of sorts. Rhaegar apparently kidnapped Lyanna and took her to Dorne, which infuriated the Starks. Rickard and his oldest son Brandon went to command the Mad King to return Lyanna and punish Rhaegar for his wrongdoing. Aerys decided to kill both Rickard and Brandon, which helped add to the reasons why Robert's rebellion started. The Seven Kingdoms went to war over the relationship between two people. It kind of resembles Romeo and Juliet, however the story is much more complex than that. Oh, and it is a popular belief among fans that Rhaegar didn't exactly kidnap her, but in reality, Lyanna left with the prince willingly. The war led to the overthrow of the Targaryen family, with the Mad King dying and Robert Baratheon becoming king. But during the most decisive battle of the rebellion, Robert Baratheon went into single combat with Rhaegar Targaryen in a river. Robert threw a deadly swing with his warhammer into the breastplate of Rhaegar, knocking him into the river, crushing his chest, and sending many rubies that were upon the prince's breastplate into the flowing water. At this point, the soldiers fighting raced over to the dead prince and grabbed all the rubies they could find. Now this is really where the theory that Rhaegar Targaryen is alive takes shape. In the confusion and excitement of the young Targaryen being defeated by Robert Baratheon, Rhaegar's body kind of disappears. There is much speculation as to who recovered his body, and while it could have been anyone on either side of the battle, it is not mentioned in the books. Now here are a few things to think about. Rubies are used in A Song of Ice and Fire to glamour characters' identities to look like someone else. You know that little red stone in the center of Melisandre's choker? That's a ruby, and when she takes it off, she transforms into an elderly version of herself. Except at one point when she's taking a bath, and she remains looking like her normal young self. You can draw your own conclusions on that. But rubies are used to essentially transform identities, much like how the Faceless Men use faces to change identities. Rhaegar's breastplate had many rubies on it, and if you wanted to go down that tinfoil path, you could say that the knight who was defeated by Robert was not in fact Rhaegar at all. How about this? What if Rhaegar's body disappeared because it was washed away in the river, and whoever found it knew it was Rhaegar? This couldn't be hard because Targaryens were pretty easy to spot, and Rhaegar was obviously very well known around Westeros. Knowing how important he is, a person could have sought the follower of the Lord of Light and performed the Last Kiss ritual, resurrecting Rhaegar's body. That one seems a little more far-fetched in my opinion, but I'm adding it there. And lastly, what if Rhaegar actually survived the Warhammer strike from Robert Baratheon? Yes, it destroyed his breastplate and caved in his chest, but the second he fell into the water, everyone surrounded his body, taking his rubies for their own profit. His corpse wasn't necessarily found, so he could have somehow survived and escaped amidst the frenzy from the battling armies. I honestly don't believe this idea, but you just might. I like to think he used the rubies to glamour someone else to look as he did. That way he could remain safe. The biggest problem with this is that he believed he was the prince that was promised, and he learned to fight. I doubt he would shy away from a battle, especially since he thought he was destined to be this fabled hero foretold in a prophecy. But if somehow he was alive, like many fans do believe, who and where could he be? Now, just to clarify, the rest of this follows the books and not the show. HBO went in a different direction with these next plot lines, but with trying to consolidate these complex ideas, I don't really blame them. Okay, so the biggest theory to who this secretly alive Targaryen poses as is Mance Rayder. We know Mance Rayder as the King Beyond the Wall and a former brother of the Night's Watch. We know he is a bit mysterious, or at least that he seems to be hiding something from everyone. A few things that fans believe tie him to Rhaegar is Mance's black and red cloak. He says that he grew up from a boy at the Wall only to desert the Night's Watch when he was attacked by a Shadowcat and had to be healed by a wildling woman. The woman repaired his black coat with patches of red silk from Asshai. When he returned to the Night's Watch, he was forced to give up the multicolored cloak, and this made him hate the rules and regulations of not being free, and thus led to him fleeing to live beyond the Wall. Many fans do not believe this story of the red and black cloak, and note that it is the same as the Targaryen colors of red and black. Mance plays a lute, a lot. Rhaegar played a harp, a lot. Obviously this isn't definitive evidence of anything, but it is said that Mance knows every song in Westeros, including southern songs, which sounds a bit weird for a man who spent his whole life at the Wall. He also was noted as a great warrior. It is kind of interesting because neither wildlings nor the Night's Watch are known for their expertise in combat. Whether you believe Mance is truly Rhaegar or not, you have to agree the story that the King Beyond the Wall claims as his own seems a little bit off. He also united many free folk into becoming one big cohabiting group. This act alone takes a certain level of skill since free folk are said to constantly fight and kill each other. They are a very unstable group of people. One could argue that the songs Mance seems to know could be from his time at the Wall. Prisoners sent to the Wall to become Brothers of the Watch are from all over Westeros. I think it is fair to say Southern brothers would sing these songs, and since the Night's Watch is a melting pot of many different people, Mance could learn the full spectrum of music in Westeros, but that's just my thoughts. Just a couple more intriguing examples of possible evidence include the song that Mance seems to play way too often, the Dornishman's Wife. Rhaegar was wed to Elia Martell of Dorne, and Mance even tells Jon Snow about him sneaking into Winterfell. He was there once when King Robert was present. Maybe he wanted to get a good look and maybe even the last laugh at the man who supposedly killed Rhaegar. There is other evidence for and against the Mance Rhaegar theory, but I want to leave some good talking points for you guys in the comments. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please leave a like on the video if you enjoyed the topic today. Have a great day, take care, and I will see you tomorrow.